The first thing the man did after rebirth was to watch his fiancée smash a priceless collection piece right in front of him, because he wanted her to pay the price for what she had done. He clearly remembered in his last life, he had transferred his company shares to his wife, but that same night after leaving the office, he was hunted down. When he saw who was standing in front of him, his face was full of shock. Right then his wife rushed over. With his weak breath he said it was Jonathan who wanted to kill him, and begged her to call the police, but she just sneered, and said the one who wanted him dead was actually her. The man demanded to know why she betrayed him. He treated her so well, he even gave her the whole company, so why would she do this? She admitted she only wanted his money, and the man she loved had always been Jonathan. Jonathan spoke up too, saying once he was dead he wouldn't be alone, because his parents had already been killed by them. Hearing that, he tried to fight back, but Jonathan kicked him to the ground. Right before his death, the man swore to the heavens, if he could live again, he would never repeat the same mistake. When he opened his eyes again, he had truly been reborn, back to the days before marrying his wife. So he brought his wife and Jonathan to the sales office, and asked the manager to show them the luxury villa, because he knew the owner of this villa was obsessed with antiques and paintings, and kept all his priceless treasures there. In his last life his wife had bought this villa, but accidentally broke one of the antiques, and was almost drowned in the pond as punishment. Now watching her and Jonathan walk toward the villa, he hoped they would once again push themselves toward destruction. Soon the group entered the villa. The sales manager quickly reminded them everything inside was expensive, and they needed to be very careful. Then he took them on a tour. Back in the living room, the wife said this house barely matched Jonathan's overseas PhD status, but Jonathan replied that compared to his villa abroad, this one still fell short. He even suggested they buy a cheaper villa instead, but the wife argued her husband had plenty of money, so if they were going to buy, they should buy the most expensive one. She turned to the man asking for his opinion, but he said since they were buying, his opinion didn't matter. The sales manager was about to bring out the contract when he got a call from Mike, the owner of the villa. Mike said he didn't care if people looked around, but warned him not to touch any of the collections, because they were his only passion, and if anything was damaged, the consequences would be serious. No sooner had the call ended than an accident happened. The wife knocked over his most precious heirloom. The sales manager shouted, "Do you know that was a Yuan dynasty blue and white porcelain? Do you realize what this means?" The wife snapped back, "It's just a stupid vase. Why make such a fuss?" The manager angrily explained, "This was an antique Yuan blue and white, a priceless family heirloom." But she arrogantly laughed, saying her husband had plenty of money. Even if they broke more of these so-called trinkets, they could pay for all of it. Right then the child ripped up a painting. The manager tried to stop them, but it was too late. The wife scoffed that it was only a worthless painting, and tearing it didn't matter. The furious manager warned, once Mike arrived, they'd regret their arrogance. He immediately called him again. Mike roared on the other end to deal with this at once. Hanging up the manager coldly told them Mike was on his way. The wife rolled her eyes. Who cares about this Mike? No matter how powerful he is, he couldn't compare to her husband, saying that she grabbed a painting and smashed it over the manager, mocking him that these scraps worth a few $100 or nothing they cared about. The manager trembled with rage, calling her ignorant. She slapped him in the face and shouted how dare he threaten her. Then she marched to another display and ripped down another painting.